Most people know about Lyme disease, but did you know that ticks can carry other dangerous infections too? In today's video, I'll walk you through the top tick-borne diseases besides Lyme, how they work, the symptoms to watch out for, and why co-infections can make recovery harder. Hey, my name is Ryan Kearns, and in 2016, I had Lyme disease. I also had a co-infection that I don't usually talk about very often. The reason is because everyone knows about Lyme disease, but they don't often know about the co-infections. For me, I had EBV as my co-infection, Epstein-Barr virus. It's actually a pretty common co-infection that I see quite often with a lot of my clients as well. But these co-infections make things way trickier. Luckily, I was able to heal with an all-natural method over the course of a year, and now I've helped thousands of other people do the same exact thing with our herbs and our coaching products and our different programs that we help people through. But today, I want to help you understand co-infections so you know what you're up against and so that you can understand the full picture of Lyme disease and the complex systems at play. Look, Lyme disease gets most of the attention, but it's not the only threat. Many people are infected with multiple pathogens from one tick bite. These co-infections are often undiagnosed or misdiagnosed, which delays the healing process and makes it way harder for the patient. So let's get into a few of these common co-infections and see what they're all about. The first one is called Babesia. It's known as the Lyme companion. This is a malaria-like parasite that infects red blood cells. Common symptoms to watch out for are night sweats, fatigue, air hunger, headaches, low energy, and low blood pressure. All of those can also come from Lyme disease, which makes everything way more confusing. But it's really important to notice here that Babesia does not respond to the same antibiotics that are used for Lyme disease. Babesia needs anti-parasitic support. Many people miss this altogether and they wonder why they're not healing. The good news is that herbs can actually fight against parasites as well, which is why the LymeWars Herb Box is such a trusted and helpful source that you can get your herbs from so that you're not stuck fighting something without the right tools to do it. Next, we have Anaplasmosis, which is known for being very fast and intense. Anaplasmosis is a bacterial infection that hits white blood cells. Common symptoms are high fever, muscle pain, headache, and a low white blood cell count. This often causes a sudden onset, so don't ignore flu-like symptoms at the beginning of Lyme disease. This could potentially be anaplasmosis and you don't want to ignore it. And the really cool part about herbs is they're antibacterial. Almost all of them are antibacterial and anti-inflammatory, which helps fighting against all bacteria. In fact, I use the herbs whenever there's a cold or a flu or any kind of virus going around. The herbs in the LymeWars Herb Box are not only for Lyme disease. They work really well for all types of bacterial infections, parasitic infections, and viruses too. We have people that never had a Lyme diagnosis, but that take them for symptoms that closely resemble Lyme disease symptoms. And these same people report having amazing results and reducing their symptoms and having a higher quality of life. In fact, my own mother and father take these herbs because it helps them with different issues that they're dealing with in their health. I just want to make sure it's clear. Even though we're called LymeWars, it can help with all of the co-infections. It helps with the biofilms, and it helps with everything in between. Sometimes people get that confused and they believe that the herbs are only for Lyme disease, so if they don't have Lyme disease, they don't need the herbs. That's simply not the case. These herbs work wonders regardless of if you have Lyme disease or not. They help with colds and flus and all types of different bacteria that's being spread all around us all the time. The next one is Ehrlichiosis, which is an immune system disruptor. This is a bacterial infection that's spread mostly by the lone star tick. So a little bit different than the black-legged tick. This is spread by the lone star tick, which is found usually in the Midwest of the United States. Symptoms include fever and chills, brain fog or confusion, digestive issues, low platelets, and low immune response. If this goes untreated, it can lead to serious complications like neurological problems or even organ damage. So why do co-infections slow down Lyme recovery? Well, many people have more than one infection at the same time. Think about it like this. When a tick bites you, regardless of what type of tick, we'll ignore that. We'll pretend, all ticks are the same, even though they're not. It releases a cocktail of bacteria into your bloodstream. It is not just Borrelia burgdorferi, which is the one known for Lyme disease. There's tons of different strains of Borrelia to begin with, and all of these co-infections can be part of that cocktail. Oftentimes we refer to these microbes as stealth microbes. They all have similar qualities of staying low in number, trying to survive for as long as possible, and continuing to move throughout the body while stealing nutrients. As you can see, the symptoms overlap so much that it makes it very confusing and it makes diagnosis way harder. But different infections usually means different treatment needs for that person. If you've been treating Lyme disease but you're not improving, it could be because you're missing a key co-infection that you didn't know you had. Herbal protocols like the one in the LymeWars Herb Box can have profound effects because they offer multi-targeted support. They're not only for Borrelia burgdorferi, they work for a series of different bacteria and infections and parasites. If you are struggling with a co-infection and you are taking the LymeWars herbs, you should see some improvement. But if you don't, reach out, because there's other herbs that we know about that help with each and every one of these co-infections. We can point you in the right direction and show you which herbs you need for your specific case if you know what co-infections you're dealing with. Best way to know what co-infections you're dealing with is simply to get a very high quality test like the testing done at iGenix, which has been the leader now for decades in Lyme disease and tick-borne disease testing, because they can tell you what co-infections you're dealing with and which ones to not pay attention to because you're not dealing with. So there you have it. Lyme disease is not the only tick-borne disease that you need to know about, and co-infections could be the missing link in your recovery. So stay protected, stay informed, and if you're still experiencing symptoms, start to ask about Babesia or Ehrlichiosis or Anaplasma. These different microbes might be at play. You can learn more on this YouTube channel. Just check out this video or subscribe to the channel. We're here for you. And if you need anything, go to LymeWars.com or email us at help@LymeDiseaseWars.com. We're here for you. And please share this video with someone who needs to see it. See you next time.